subscribe, thumb up. Tonight on the Lawyers and Podcast Show. Well. Just Pearlythings, aka Punky Brewster, is on the rise. And ladies and gentlemen, Lawyer Henderson is live. Just Pearlythings is basically caused controversy in the black community because an uproar. But how did this plain Jane get into the black manosphere anyhow? How did she come into the black intercircle, black culture, like her and DJ Valide and No Jumper? How did these folks get into the black manosphere? I'll tell you how. These sipping Negroes, that's how. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I should say tonight is a night that we're going to be talking and breaking down about this plain Jane white girl who is taking the internet by storm. And let the white media tell it, it was some British other personality or YouTuber or former kickboxer that put her on. That's a lie. But we'll discuss it today on the Lawyer Henderson podcast show, because the black media is how you're going to get the real news. But before we do that, according to TMZ, Kanye West is no longer an anti-Semite. Now, what is going on in Ye's mind? I don't know. First thing I would have to ask is, what is a Semite? Because I read in the Bible that Semite is people of color, or what they call, well, they say people of color, but we know we're black folks, the original man and woman. And that is up, for the debate with the Jewish community, of course. But he is saying, according to TMZ, we'll get to our top story in just a moment, just Pearlythings, and how she's causing all kinds of controversy now with what she made she made a statement about slavery that was basically, it was not taken great by the black community, let's just say. But Kanye West said he's no longer an anti-Semite thanks to Jonah Hill. He said he's done a 180 on this view about the Jewish people and is no longer an anti-Semite thanks to actor Jonah Hill. The rapper took to Instagram Friday night to announce that he was watching the 2012 film 21 Jump Street starring Hill and Channing Tatum when he had an epiphany, I can't get that right, epiphany about the Jewish race. Okay. Kanye said, watching Jonah Hill in 21 Jump Street made me like Jewish people, made him like Jewish people again. No one should take anger against one or two individuals and transfer that into hatred towards millions of innocent people. He continued, no Christians can be labeled anti-Semitic knowing Jesus is a Jew. And thank you, Jonah Hill. I love you. Kanye's statements are hard to swallow given his recent professed love for Hitler. He went on to prolong scorched earth campaign against Jews, as he alluded to issues he had with some executives in the music business. And it was all very ugly. Kanye went on InfoWars, hosted by conspiracist nut Alice Jones, and praised Hitler and the Nazis. Ye also hung out with white nationalist Nick Fuentes, and the two even flew to Mar-a-Lago for an infamous dinner hosted by Donald Trump. During the interview with Piers Morgan, Kanye doubled down on his anti-Semitic remarks, but clarified that he was only referring to Jews who had done him wrong. This was the reference to an earlier remark he made about going to DEF CON 3 on Jews. Again, hardcore anti-Semite. His comments led to a crushing downfall. Kanye began a purge of sort within the Hollywood and music industry. His close friends dropped him like a bad habit, and he lost major business deal with Adidas and Balenciaga. He also had an honorary college degree ripped from him for the School of Art Institute, a watchdog group called Stop Antisemitism named Kanye Anti-Semite of the Year in 2022. There is a real change of heart. One post does not erase a strong hatred here. And that's the end of what Kanye West has been flip-flopping all the time, okay? And his love for, white folks is not going to go away. Just like a lot of black folks, your love is not going to go away for white people. The bottom line is that Kanye West is basically, he knows that, of course, he got these kids to take care of. He wants to continue his lifestyle. And, of course, you can't do that without money from these Jewish people who basically have given him an arm and a leg in the music industry and also in fashion and other things. Now, his deal with Adidas proved that a black man does have power to destroy a company. And so Adidas lost billions of dollars. Their stock plummet with the fallout with Kanye West. Okay, thumbs up, thumbs up. We're not going to be here that long today, ladies and gentlemen. But thumbs up, like, share, subscribe. Kanye West is saying that, I'm not anti-Semitic, and white folks are saying, we don't basically really trust you. Keep in mind, they didn't want to spend his money in banks there that were ran by whites and Jews. But just after looking at some movie, and I give TMZ credit for doing the story here, but just by looking at some movie, all of a sudden you're no longer anti-Semitic. Here's the thing about black folks. Black people, of course, are not really true to themselves when they basically work for white people. Kanye West is apologizing because he wants white people to accept him back into the inner circle so he can start, of course, making deals. This is no different than what Nick Cannon has done. Nick Cannon realized, I don't have, even though he got this money in the bank and he can do some things himself to basically make more money, they feel like they need the white Jewish people to maintain themselves. And not only that, Kanye West is basically missing out on the white girls that he liked so much. After his breakup with Kim Kardashian, he gets with a Russian model. I forget the Russian model's name. I thought I had it in my report, but I forget her name. But he is basically now with a Russian model. Okay. It's coming up here. Kanye West takes wife Bianca Censori, a Russian model, daughter north to Universal Studios. So he's moved on to another white girl. So we know his game plan. Here's the thing. You can't watch a movie and then say, okay, this is where I'm going to transition back into not being anti-Semitic no more. It's almost like, dude, you wanted to get back among these white girls, man. Stop playing, You was missing out on the deals. You were missing out on all of this stuff that the white Jewish people were giving you, in a sense. Okay. And of course, you got bills to pay. Okay. You got a lifestyle to keep. And that's why he made up with this, because his whole livelihood is about, you know, um, it's about, just being relying upon these people. That's what it's about. It's about relying upon the white Jewish community. Now, we know that they control the music and film business, which, of course, why I haven't got a contract, because they already know. They listen to me, then I'm already done, And so I got to make my own films and raise my own money. They just cut me completely off. Okay, and of course, I don't care about that. Okay, but we have to look at what Kanye West is about. Kanye West, he says stuff that is really, 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 really foolish. Okay. But I just wanted to go ahead and talk about, how he has apologized, like Nick Cannon had to do. They all of them, the white Jewish people, they make you go through all these hoops to apologize after they take your money from you, take your endorsements, take all of your jobs away from you, your contracts. They do all of that until you apologize, and then you start saying stuff. You have to say some nice things about the Jewish community. You can't talk about the Holocaust. You can't do this and blah, blah, blah. You can't criticize them. All of that stuff in order to get your deals back. Okay. The question would be, will it be the same? Okay. I was reminded of Arsenio Hall show, what he did with Fox. And of course, there's more people claiming that Fox had no Jewish people there. Even if they don't have any Jewish people there, they work alongside with them in the industry. And how Arsenio Hall had to, well, he canceled his show. He said he didn't get fired. He said that he walked out of the show itself. And I don't know if that's true or not, but it kind of reminded me of that when he tried to come back. Okay, just look at it. When he tried to come back, it was not the same, and then it was on another network, I think it was. It did not really make sense for him to wait all those years and to come back just because you said something that Jewish people were, you know how they are. Think you can't say nothing good about them, can't say nothing bad about them. They're going to take all your money from you. Okay, and that's what they call anti-Semitic. We know that. But yeah, we just wanted to talk to you about that. But now our top story tonight is about a plain Jane white girl. Thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. Plain Jane white girl. She got in trouble for showing her true colors, as they always do, i.e. white people. But just who is this white girl, this plain white girl that's making all of this noise on the internet, who got all of these views and basically everybody's talking about? Well, her name is just Pearlythings. And tonight we talk about her interview with suspected white supremacist Nick Fuentes on her show 2 weeks ago, which is causing controversy in the Black community. But how did just Pearlythings get into the Black manosphere anyhow? She paid $1,000 to the late, great Kevin Samuels, and for her, she was now able to sneak in the back door of Black culture. She started copying Kevin Samuels' talking points, as Willie D pointed out. And now she have grown a diverse audience, specifically Black people. Just Pearly Things is from the UK, and just like her two white male counterparts, No Jumper and DJ Falad, they all use the black community to make money and profit off of. But Punky Brewster, I like to call her Punky Brewster. Punky Brewster did not stop there. What did she say? Well, she said that slavery was exaggerated. And then after talking or interviewing, I should say, with Nick Fuentes, she also stated some more stuff. She knew that this was going to cause controversy because she was showing her true colors, right? As white folks always do. Now, here, in a sense, then, is this plain Jane white girl. It's plain Jane white girl. She basically, came on the scene, started interviewing black folks, and then the white media is going to try to say, oh, well, she basically got known because of Andrew Tate. No, 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 no. We'll talk about what the white media has said in a minute. I got a copy for you here regarding what the white media was saying about this Just Pearly Things. Well, Punky Brewster. I got an article right here for you. Insider did also an article, about this woman, and everybody else in the black media online was dogging her as well. Like Jason Black, he did a great content on her, pointing out some of the flaws that she have against black people, which was very brilliant. Okay, Willie D did something which was very great as well. Everybody that was in the black media called this plain Jane white girls out, and shout out to black women because they also were going in on this white woman. This woman is a fraud, and we all know that she's a fraud. She couldn't. This is what white folks do when they cannot make money within their own inner circle. When white boys tell them, get the hell on out of here. We don't want no plain Janes, or we don't want no average white girl over here. Get the hell on out of here. They'll come into the black community, just like white folks do in general. When they can't find a job in the white community, they'll come into the black community, right? But the article was by Lindsay Dawson. I'll give her credit. She's a reporter from Insider. She said in this particular piece that she's written, her op-ed, that the rise of Pearl, she's talking about this woman, Pearl Davis. She even have a plain Jane last name. The rise of Pearl, female anti-feminist, filling gap left by Andrew Tate. Now that right there is a lie within itself. Andrew Tate did not put this woman on. Okay, but we'll talk about it. Let's discuss what the white media, insider.com, the newspaper online. Let's see what they have to say about Pearl Davis hosting her podcast show Pregame. Just Pearly Things, like I like to call her, AKA Punky Brewster. Okay, she said, while Andrew Tate is locked up in a Romanian jail, Andrew Tate, him and his brother got arrested in Romania. Okay, while Andrew Tate is locked up in a Romanian jail, mostly unable to communicate with his fans, another creator is gaining traction. Hannah Pearl Davis, known as Just Pearly Things, is booming in popularity with the brand of anti-feminist content that lands differently since she is a woman herself. Okay, now stop right there. It's going to tell you later on that the woman is not from America. She stays not in the UK, in the United States, but she's from the UK. Okay. Davis, who was 26, saw her YouTube audience grow 50% in the 3 months since Tate was detained. Pretty analytics tool Social Blade, her subscribers base jumped from around 800,000 to 1.3 million in that time frame. Now, I told you what ScrewTube and these other white-owned platforms do. They give a lot of views of algorithm, the algorithm that they use to white people or to black folks only who is talking about Black folks are criticizing Black people, or if they're talking about a topic about women or talking about Black women, of course, they're going to get more of views. And YouTube and Facebook, which basically are behind closed doors starting a lot of this stuff, it's going to give them more views. But if you're criticizing white people, what they're doing, then of course, like myself, then you're not going to get as much views and content. And that's what the atmosphere does on YouTube, which there's other platforms that are emerging, thank God. But it goes on to say that, yeah, she's been the feminist of the talk, but no, it goes on to say that her nickname of female Andrew Tate, including critics who calling her the latest celebrity misogynist. So they're calling this white woman a misogynist because of her talking points. And Andrew Tate, as you see, he'd be on these podcasts. And so what ends up happening is that she'll basically, I think she's been on his show before, whatever. And what they'll do is they'll start talking the points that Black men have been saying for longest and longest about about relationships, Black relationships, or even when you date outside your race, relationship from the American woman in general. Stole all of that. But they're saying that since Andrew Tate is in jail, locked up in Romania, okay, because I thought he's from the UK or Great Britain. He's from one of those. I know he's not from the US, okay? So she's been, as the white media claim, been hot on the internet now. All of a sudden, this plain Jane white woman is taking the internet by storm, if you will. Nonsense. It goes on to say here, though, that her podcast, The Pregame, sees Davis debate within criticize feminists, praise Tate's teaching, and present herself as a rare champion for the male point of view. Unlike Tate, Davis does not consider herself as a misogynist, telling the insider via a direct message that I don't hate women. Instead, she argued criticism of her work is the inedible backlash now that finally there is a form of media that advocates for men. Okay? And we have that, of course, we have a lot of advocates of men. What men she's talking about. I know her white man has ran her off the circuit. That's why she had to come to Black men. But I digress. As well as ready YouTuber audience, which viewed her videos some 200 million times since December. And I told you, ScrewTube helped her out on that, okay? Davis regularly goes viral on TikTok. Now, nobody don't like her on TikTok. Their videos with the hashtag #JustPearlythings have over 300 million views, making headways on a platform where Tate's sound bites also found their most receptive audience, okay? Now, it goes on to say that she includes in her audience that it's women's fault. If her male partners cheat, then or if the counterpart hits her spouse, and then the man who's got hit by the woman should be able to hit the woman back, and that woman don't deserve a man who. That women don't deserve a man who is, she said, that is overweight and obese as well. She said that high value men don't want them type of women and don't need those type of women. So just probably things have been stealing all of Kevin Samuel's talking points. Now that's coming from insider. That's coming from the white media. And we already know how they lie. Let's talk about how this Pearlythings really basically came into being and what the controversy she's called, as I mentioned earlier. Just Pearlythings, had spent $1,000 to take a consultant with the late Kevin Samuels. She took and wrote down his talking points, wrote down information about what was going on. I mean, what was going on in Black relationships. Okay. And there was a lot of Black women who also basically was calling out this plain white girl. It's like, I can't believe y'all. They were like, I can't believe y'all Black men are listening to this white girl. She's supposed to be leading y'all. You see what I'm saying? I mean, she has some Black women in her inner circle as well. But just Pearlythings basically was saying everything that Kevin Sane was saying. And as Willie D pointed out, she basically emerged that time from that. Not from Andrew Tate, okay? Now, even though they interviewed each other, she was on his show, but that's not how she gained her celebrity status, okay? And that's what the white media doesn't want to say. But anyway, after taking that $1,000, as I said earlier, from Kevin Samuels, she began to steal his talking points. She began to take notes. And this is how white people do. They steal stuff and then they use it to make money off of it. No, there's no question that they've been doing this for years, ever since slavery. But Punky Brewster, I like to call her Punky Brewster, had also recently is under fire because she had an interview with suspected white supremacist Nick Fuentes. And Nick Fuentes and her was talking about, and like I said, Jason Black did an excellent breakdown of this. If you go and watch this, about just Pearlythings, where she's sitting there talking about that slavery is exaggerated. That's a huge sign right there to let you know that this woman is a racist and that she basically don't have no business being in the Black male hemisphere. Now, I basically should have did a disclaimer when I did the last video of emerging new Black man. And the reason why I should have did a disclaimer, because there's a lot of boys among the Black community that is not men. Okay. When I talked about the emerging Black man, I'm talking about those Black men who are not only high valued, but the emerging Black man who's not taking SHIT from white supremacists and white people in general. Those are the emerging Black men that I was talking about. But we recognize that all of these grown boys are not on the same page as us. So I should have did a disclaimer. Okay. But just Pearlythings decided that she's going to not only say that that slavery was exaggerated. What else did she say? She said that when Nick Fuentes mentioned Ben Shapiro, she said, I love Ben Shapiro. You see, but she might as well have went ahead and said that I love Richard Spencer and the alt-right. The way she was just sitting there praising people. See, this is why you don't let these types of white women into your inner circle. Okay? And that's the problem with Black men. They hate Black women so much that they basically will let any white girl into that in their manosphere. And you're like, how did this white girl enter? Well, she snuck into the back door with that Black dude. Okay? And you Black men, y'all have been so upset with these white girls. You gotta stop it, man. It's ridiculous out here. It reminds me of that situation in Laverne, Tennessee, where those Black cops lost their job just because all of them want to have sex with this white female that look average. Come on, Black man, get some pride and dignity about yourself. But just Pearlythings, aka Punky Brewster, is praising Ben Shapiro. Okay? Not only is that, and she said, well, Thomas Sowell, he's good as well. I know Thomas Sowell. I like Ben Shapiro. Like, let girl go by. You see? And that's what we have to watch out in the Black community. But she made some controversial statements that got her in hot water. And now she's put on to what we call a mainstream YouTuber and blocker. Now, what that means? That means you're blowing up these white girls who also have the same anti-black hatred for black people than their white male counterparts. And that's foolish. Black men, get it together. Okay, I talk about black women on here, yes. Okay, I talk about them being an ally to white supremacists. But one thing about them, one thing about the black woman, she basically will call out these white girls who are the same way as well. And so therefore, I'm like, black man, come on. I mean, this white girl, really? I'm like, all right, man, this is the best we can do when we date these white girls. I mean, we're getting, we used to get everything that the white man don't want. You get his basic women, and now you got women from the UK coming over, white women from the UK coming over here, along with DJ Vlad and New Jumper, who cause beefs between Mexicans and black. New Jumper is able to put them on a platform, make money off of it. Same thing with DJ Vlad. He's interviewing black rappers. All these folks are making money off of us, and our stupid self sit there and just sit back and go home empty-handed. Foolish. Boy, when the black man and black woman are going to wake up here, but specifically black men, because y'all are who I'm talking about tonight. I'm going to give the black woman a break today. No, I love the black woman. I just don't like those black women who are allies to white supremacy, and that's a lot of y'all. Okay. But I am your brother with the bald head. I'm Larry Henderson. Podcast show. I told you I was not going to stay on that long. I had to just do this. Join me possibly tomorrow when I talk about that I am not happy about the Lionsgate merger coming together. You've been listening to the latest podcast show. Like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thank you.